How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Jeff. You notice my Airport Extreme in the background, the little amber light. Yeah, that's not a good thing. That means that I don't have an internet connection. Well, I don't have actually anything plugged into the Airport Extreme right now. And you see that my iPhone is connected. You see the little Wi-Fi icon in the status bar. It thinks everything's A-OK with the airport, but that's not the case, as you can see there. But if I wasn't in the vicinity of my airport, I would have no idea that the internet connection was down. Everything looks fine on my iPhone, doesn't it? In fact, let's just pretend that everything's A-OK. Let's go about our business as usual. We'll open up the App Store, and then let's go ahead and navigate to the Featured tab there at the bottom. There we go. And then you will see it just hanging there on the loading screen. Nothing actually happens, and you're probably wondering to yourself, why is this not loading up? My Wi-Fi connection's good. Of course, at the time, you don't realize that in the other room, your router's flashing amber, indicating that you don't have an internet connection. In fact, let's try to open up Safari here. Let's just try to go to iDownload blog, and you'll see the same scenario. It'll just continue trying to load to no avail because, of course, we're connected to Wi-Fi, but the router does not have an IP address because nothing's hooked up to it, so you can't get anywhere. But this is a cell phone, not a set-top box. It has built-in cellular connectivity. Wouldn't it be nice if the device automatically, detected that we didn't have a Wi-Fi connection that was valid and switched over to cellular automatically? Well, that's what this new feature does. Wi-Fi Plus Cellular allows apps having trouble with Wi-Fi to use cellular data. So if it appears that you have a good Wi-Fi connection, but in all actuality you don't, then some apps and some features can take advantage of this cellular connection on your iPhone. Let me show you how it works. Let's load up the App Store app, and let's see what happens. You can see it's loading something, and yes, there it is. So we don't have a good internet connection via Wi-Fi, but it actually uses the cellular connection because we have the Wi-Fi Plus Cellular option enabled in the Settings app. So this allows certain features and certain apps to actually load data over cellular when Wi-Fi is having issues. So let's reload that page in Safari that we tried to open earlier and see what happens. See if we can get a valid connection over cellular, even though it appears that Wi-Fi is connected. Yes, we can. You can see there is iDownload blog. So this works just as advertised. It allows apps having trouble with Wi-Fi to use cellular data instead. Now, to prove this, let's open up our usage panel and go down to cellular usage. If I can get there. There we go. And let's reset those statistics so we can get some accurate readings as to the throughput for our cellular connection. So let's go ahead and try to load up a website, or let's just refresh this website, iDownload blog, and let's see what our cellular usage is. Even though it shows we're connected to Wi-Fi, let's see if the cellular usage increases, and yes, it does, as you can see there. So we're going to test this out a little bit, and let's just load some things up and monitor our cellular network data as we use this. So I'm going to uninstall Spotify, and actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and uninstall Chrome as well. Uninstall Chrome. All right, let's head over to the App Store and let's try to re-download these apps. So first of all, Spotify is already there, so let's go ahead and install. And you see, I'm connected to Wi-Fi technically, but it's going to use the cellular connection instead. And let's prove that again by going to our settings. You can see it's loading there. Let's go back to our cellular usage panel in our settings app, and you can see there it's increasing. So 3 megabytes already. Let's reload it up. 4.2 megabytes. Try it again. 5.2 megabytes. So this is downloading via cellular, even though it appears that I have an active Wi-Fi connection because we have Wi-Fi Plus Cellular enabled in the settings. Okay, while that's still loading, let's go back to the App Store and let's try to download a large file this time. Let's try iMovie. I know that rings in probably close to 500 megabytes. So we're going to try that right now. Let's open that up and let's actually scroll down to see how large iMovie is. 403 megabytes. So I was off by 97, but close enough. All right, let's go ahead and try to install this using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular and watch what happens. This item is over 50 megabytes. You must connect to a Wi-Fi network, even though I'm technically connected to one. But iOS is smart enough to know that you are using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular, so it doesn't want to use all your data on this 400 megabyte download. And that's actually a really good thing because otherwise you would end up downloading something large like that and going over your monthly data plan. And for anyone who's ever done that, you know how painful that can be. So let's try another download. Let's try Chrome again this time. So we're just going to download Chrome, and I'm sure that falls under the 50 megabyte threshold. So let's go ahead and try to install that. There we go. So that is installing, and you can see the cellular network data continuing to rise. Spotify is complete, and it continues to rise. Chrome isn't that big. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that with Wi-Fi Plus Cellular, not everything works. Apple has put on restrictions for certain apps, for certain types of data. For instance, if you try to use a third-party browser like Opera Mini, a website will not load while you are connected using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular. Now, if you're on Wi-Fi or if you're just on cellular, then you're good to go. But if you're using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular, Opera Mini will not work, and neither will any other third-party browser that I've tested, including Google Chrome. Yes, my favorite browser. That will not work over Wi-Fi Plus Cellular. So just keep that in mind. The Apple has really put the restrictions on what apps can use what data, what type of data can be used. For instance, streaming, I'll show you that in a little bit, will not work for things like Spotify and Netflix and YouTube and things of that nature. Now that may seem like a pretty harsh restriction by Apple, but that's actually, as I stated, a good thing, so you don't accidentally start using all of your cellular data plan for the entire month because you thought you were connected to Wi-Fi. That's actually protection for the consumer. Now here's an example of Google Chrome. I'm trying to load up just iDownloadBlog. Certainly not a site that's going to take up a lot of data usage, but again, Apple has apparently restricted certain browsers, or only allows the Safari browser to download data using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular. So really, it's just interesting that only the Safari browser apparently works while you're connected this way. And as you can see right there, iDownloadBlog loads up just perfectly on Safari. Let's go back over to Chrome. Yeah, it's still trying to load. Oh no, it's not going to work. And you can see it timed out. Let's go back over to Opera, still trying to load. And there again is Chrome, and it just timed out completely. So at least on iOS 6 Beta 4, you apparently cannot use third-party browsers. Whether or not this will change in the future is anyone's guess. Again, this is beta software, so any of these findings is definitely subject to change. Apple could decide they want to allow third-party browsers in the future. Who knows? We'll find. But as of now, it appears that only Safari will allow you to surf the web using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular. Now, what happens, say, for instance, you load up Safari, we know Safari works, but you load up a YouTube video, and this is a large YouTube video, and then you end up using all your data. Well, Apple has considered that as well, and for that reason, it doesn't appear that YouTube works at all. Like, you can load up the site, you can go to the site, you can view the thumbnails and things like that, but once you get to this point where it tries to load the video, iOS puts the brakes on. It doesn't load, it just kind of stands there, and hardly any data is used during this whole entire process. In fact, I'm going to let this just sit for, I don't know, I guess until the clock hits 4:30. How about that? And I'm going to monitor the data usage to see if a substantial amount of data is used as it tries or attempts to load this video. So I'm going to reset the statistics for the cellular network data. I'm going to go back to Safari, and let's just be patient. I'm going to just tap on this video down here and let it try to load for the next minute or so and see if any data or how much data is used. Now, it appears that obviously it's trying to load the video and it's probably buffering and things of that nature, and it really wouldn't be surprising if a significant amount of data was used, but we're going to find out for ourselves here in just a second. So obviously I'm not going to make you guys wait the whole minute. I'm going to time lapse this. We're at 4:30 now. Let's go to settings and let's see, sent 8 kilobytes and received 57 kilobytes. So hardly any data was used while that was appearing to load up. So again, that proves, at least on iOS 6 Beta 4 that is, that data is very responsibly managed while on Wi-Fi Plus Cellular. And things like, you know, web views and reader, for instance, that's a third-party RSS app, that actually works. So you can load up the websites on that just fine using Wi-Fi Plus Cellular. And things like iCloud syncing for all your stock apps like reminders, your notes, email works just fine, iMessage works just fine. And you really have to keep in mind that the whole point of this is just to make the transition from Wi-Fi to cellular seamless. So if you get stuck on a bad Wi-Fi connection, that's usually only temporary. Either you'll regain your Wi-Fi connectivity or you'll end up on cellular connectivity. But hopefully you won't stay on Wi-Fi Plus Cellular too long. So transparency is the name of the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This is Jeff. with iDownload Blog.